Welcome to another episode of Post Smut Clarity podcast, where my best buddy Hiram and I read smut books and talk about them.
It's
What's on the agenda? Go ahead.
it's a little smut curious book club that you and I
Smut
started.
Curious Book Club. I was trying to pull that out in my head. Smut Curious Book Club.
If there's one thing you've learned in this book club, it is never pull out. It is
only
push
push
through.
through.
Yeah,
That's. I mean, I live by that, and I've always said that. Never pull out, always push through. What is the book for today?
All right, so this was a referral. This was a suggestion. Yes. I mean, I feel like it was forced upon us. There was
multiple people were like, read this one.
Dubious consent on our part, whether or not we should read this.
Dubious consent is a new word in my lexicon that I will continue to use and is foreshadowing the book.
Yo, I learned a new word today that I am in love with. You'll have to look it up later. Sapphic.
Sapphic.
I heard someone use it and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? All right, we got okay.
I love it.
Sapphic. Perfect for the podcast. You got to look it up after.
I'll look it up. All right, look it up after.
We read Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, and this was a doozy. All right, let me give it a little plot synopsis, all right? So, Haunting Adeline explores psychological intrigue, romance, and supernatural themes, all of which actually I loved, and I thought that exploration was fun. The novel focuses on Adeline Riley, an author who inherits the mysterious Parsons Manor in Washington. What up, Washington? She becomes embroiled in the unresolved murder of her great-grandmother, Gigi, while being stalked by Zaid Meadows. So the story alternates between the perspectives of Adeline, who's dubbed the manipulator, and initially fears Zaid's presence, who he keeps leaving her these very unsettling gifts, these roses. And Zaid, who is referred to as the Shadow, has this mission to dismantle human trafficking networks and adds a bunch of complexity to his role as both this guardian, for sure, a protector, but also very dangerous. I think this, like, you got to listen to our episode on God, I can't remember what it's called now, but we talk about men building walls and building these like protective structures, and they're like, "Oh, I'm here to be a protector." Pen pals.
They're pen pals. Pen pal, yeah.
Not pals, yeah. And it's like this whole like
that's a different book.
Very different. Yeah, and it's like, I'm gonna be this great protector, and it's like, oh, you are really scary, and you're very dangerous in doing these things.
Yeah, I actually, that's a good call out. Like, this shows how to do it wrong almost, while then doing it right? Like it shows that both worlds.
It explores really both sides, and we'll get into it. We'll get into that. So Zaid's obsession with Adeline intensifies throughout the book. I mean, really, it's intense from day one all the way to the end. But there's this really great confrontation. I want to say it's like an hour or two or 10, 15 chapters into the book where Zaid confronts and kills this dude, Arch, who is trying to hook up with Adeline. And it's like in that moment where you're like, he goes from stalker to to a beast. That's like, again, we talk about it in Pen Pal, where it's like he's protecting her, and suddenly he goes too far, sends her his hands, and is like, "I protected you."
Don't you like this gift? It's a cat dropping the dead bird on your like on your torso. It's like, this is not what you thought.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so she freaks out, and at the same time, Adeline's investigating her great-grandmother Gigi's death and her stalking that she
had a stalker.
She had her own stalker,
and that's the whole fear, is because we don't know if the stalker killed her or not. It's a cold case. We have no idea how she was killed, and now she's suffering the same like experience to some extent. So is she in danger?
Yeah, it was really cool. I liked that supernatural opening, the juxtaposition, the comparison between the two. And then, like, we get little bouts of a secret society and dark rituals, blood pacts, sacrificing potential
It
virgins. I
goes
don't think they're actually
full
virgins at that point.
like politics, like seedy sex trafficking underground, blood rituals, like all of it mashes together pretty seamlessly, I would say. Like it was done well.
Honestly, this is like a good combination of the ritual and pen pal, and they like kind of
Yes.
mashed it together.
Yeah. And there's a haunting, there's like societies, rituals, like actually, that's a great call out. Like it is put together well, and it pulls like all the elements of all the books that we've read and liked together well.
Yeah, honestly, it was it does a good job. Okay. There's our little synopsis. So before we jump in to get any deeper, what would you rate the book in terms of your enjoyment, not smutiness, just how much did you like it? 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. I'm gonna give this one a 7. I don't know if that's the highest I've given, but it's up there.
There.
Mainly because of the things we said. Like I think the problems I had with, or like early on, any critiques I may have had were expanded upon or resolved as the book kept going, and I think it was done in a timely manner. Felt like I was attached the whole time. I couldn't wait to like get to the next chapter. Like it kept me on the whole time, and it all made sense. There wasn't huge like Deus Ex Machinas that happened. So like
Yeah.
I gave it a high rating for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. I think it is a 7. I think my one critique is Zayd is a little flat, and you'd already said this as we were prepping. He's a little flat. He becomes more complex as the story goes on, certainly towards the end, which is good. But Adeline, she's a great character. I love her character. She is complicated. She is torn. She is like going through all these emotions. And I feel like there's not a point except for maybe the very beginning where I'm like, yo, what the hell is she doing? This is crazy. This is crazy. Like her emotions, her feelings, the like struggle that she has is you can feel it, and you're like, you kind of go through those highs and lows with her, and it feels good. I like her a
Yeah,
lot.
her complexity is what made the whole book work, because I think 100%. I think Zane's a little flat, but it works because she carries the narrative so well, and she brings the depth to the book. Because I totally agree. He could have been better in certain places, and like I think it gets resolved a little bit later. Zayd came together because of her, and I think his like flatness was maybe a feature. I don't know, maybe a bug, maybe a feature. But it kept that like, what's going on here, and is she safe? Is she okay? Allure to it. But yeah, same page, is well done. He is a little bit off, a little bit, or flat, not off.
He's definitely
He's also off, but for different reasons.
But he's wildly handsome. He's got a monster dick. It's just too big, apparently. He's far too fulfilling. It, like,
boy can't miss. He can't miss.
No. So with that in mind, what do you give it in spiciness, 1 to 10?
Spiciness, I also rate it high. Let me give it a 6, not a 7 yet, because my meter now for spiciness is pucking around, and nothing's made me feel like pucking around made me feel yet. But it's high because this is different sex, and this is dubious consent sex, to where there's a lot of like heat and fear and emotion. So it's up there, but the like raw sex of it was not as much as pucking around. And maybe that's because there's multiple partners. Maybe that might be the only reason.
You mean with that scene where he's like, bam, smack.
That made it a 6.5. I'm changing my score. Pow.
No, I'll have you guys know. This is not. Nettie texted me and was like, Oh, he smacks the pussy.
I immediately when I went through that scene, I was like,
You're like,
we gotta talk about this. I couldn't text fast enough. I could not text fast enough.
well, did you know I was nowhere near that part of the book yet, and I was like, what? I was like, good for Erin. Hope she enjoyed it.
I hope she enjoyed it just as much as Adeline did. That's one for the chat. Like chat thoughts. I want to know. I like. There's weirder stuff out there. I want to know.
You know, I subscribe. No, I don't subscribe to this, but I forgot what this is from. There's like a book or a movie or something where it's like, I want to not be able to look you in your eyes afterwards. And I think, sometimes you get in the heat of the moment, you do some wild stuff, and then later you're like, we're good, right?
I actually fully agree with this. Like, if I'm not kind of embarrassed by the end or ashamed, embarrassed/ashamed, I didn't try it hard enough. So I think there's some merit to that.
I mean, in a weird way, that is vulnerability.
Yes.
There's this there's emotional vulnerability that's like that, where you're like afterwards you're like, oh, I hope I didn't. Much? Did I give you too much of me? And there's like sexual vulnerability where you're like,
who was that?
I need to go wash my hands real quick before we talk again.
The after shower. That's so funny. No, I like this. Like, I haven't thought about it in this way, where it's like vulnerability is allowing yourself to, unabashedly become a character, become a person. Maybe it's you, maybe it's not you, but you're being in the moment, and that's vulnerability, and that's safety, and desire comes from all of that.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, it's the combination of not only just the not fearing judgment or being okay with judgment, but also acting under that guise of like,
yes,
all right, like, I mean, I'm feeling these things. We're in a safe place. We're both consenting, mostly,
sometimes dubiously.
And we're gonna do things, and we're gonna be our like animalistic selves, and I'm gonna trust that if it isn't okay, you're gonna say something. If it is okay, that we're gonna just fucking ride. We're gonna do it.
Ride the tiger. And I think that's what's awesome about when you see it go well in these books, and when you experience it in a good way. It's true communication, right? Like, you're opening up and like exposing yourself in a way that you're scared of, embarrassed of, ashamed of, like, put whatever adjective that fits there. And the other person's communicating like or dislike at the same time. And when it flows, like, it's powerful, right? It's going back and forth. And in a book, you feel it. It comes through really obviously. And in real life, very similarly, right? Like, it just flows. You're like, oh shit. And then you up the ante, and it's great.
I feel like in real life, sometimes it flows. And great when you are connected to someone, it flows. Yes. When you're not connected to someone, it's a little like,
yeah, no, 100%. I think it doesn't, and it doesn't have to do with how good your relationship is. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't hit, and that's safety. You have to, you're not always batting 1,000,
because sometimes you have to confront the scenario where sometimes you are going to push it too far or do something too weird, or you are going to do something where the other person's like, ooh, not in there.
Don't
Thank
slap
you.
me ever again.
Oh, you slapped it? God, what are you doing?
100%. And I think that's that like, but the openness to communicate a no is just as important as communicating a yes, right? Or almost more so. Like, a good relationship, a good open, safe space can say no and continue. That's powerful, right? Like, to be able to say, like, I don't really like this, and still keep going, that's huge. And I've been in both situations where, like, sometimes it stops everything. You're like, oh, good night.
Sorry.
Other times you're like, oh, cool, let's pivot.
I'm gonna see myself out.
Yeah. Totally. And I think that's the strength of, like, a good relationship that can be open and can do these things, like you can say no and keep going, and that's the most, like, that's elite.
It is. It is elite. But I feel like that's the one though. The next day you wake up and you're like,
What have I
"Oh,
done? You didn't wash your hands after.
why does it hurt to sit on my booty?"
Just remember slapping. But
all right, hold on. Okay, so
really, yes, go.
past this point, spoilers.
Spoilers.
So,
There was zero spoilers up until this point.
I mean, there's the slapping, but you know, that'll just get you interested.
Yeah.
But all ye be warned. Past this point, there's spoilers. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty. We're gonna talk about everything in Haunting Adeline. This is a good one. This is a really good book. I was getting the rest of this tattoo done on my arm, like a 2-day session. I'm like sitting there on the getting worked on. I'm listening to this book, and I'm like in it. And I'm like, I want to listen to more, and I'm enjoying it. And it's getting to these parts where I'm like, I am like, I got to make sure my phone's turned over. You can't see anything on my watch, so you could read what I'm listening to. I was a little embarrassed listening to this while getting tattooed.
This one makes you blush. This book makes you blush more so than the past few we've read, I feel like, because I did it similarly. Like I often like warm up on the treadmill, and I'll have like the phone up, and I'm listening to one of these books. And this one, I was just like, oh, maybe I should flip it over. Maybe I don't want someone to know. There's a little bit of like embarrassment with this one for sure. Even though it was a great book, even though like I'm happy to talk about it, but it was a lot.
I'm happy to talk about it too, but in the moment, I feel like I'd have been like, yeah,
no.
listening to this dark romance, super smutty, weird book. Yeah, so this is a super interesting one for me. I think they did a much better job. Like where Ritual fails, this book succeeds. Just like Flying Colors kills it in terms of like, man, Zayd is not a good guy. He does good guy things. He is better than Riot without a doubt. He has this part of him where he has devoted his life to saving women and children who are being abused. That part of him, he's a good guy. But in living that life, he has become this like beast. I mean, he kills people. Really, anyone he wants to kill, he kills. He is a super stalker. He has no problems with like destroying boundaries, building walls around people. He's not a good guy. He's not a safe guy either. At least
And
not initially.
And he's also not really listening to her for the majority of the book.
No, because she's like, leave me alone. Get away from me.
This is a really good book to talk about, because like it's strange in the like everything we've talked about prior. The male character builds the safety the whole time, right? It's like, oh yeah, like they listen, they allow boundaries to happen, they build the castle around the woman's desire. This one does not follow that rule book at all.
No. And in fact, I would say everything he does up until midpoint of the book is what you should never do.
Yes, I think this is a dangerous book for someone who hasn't read any other book, because this is where like you would assume like if I am ultimate like kind of an asshole, super strong, and like protect against will, I will win. You could make that mistake here, because this character kind of does that, and I think like my zoom out take of what like underlying desire here, or like underlying thing that's positive, is this like ultimate like can't see anything else love / desire for Adeline. Like that's the through line for me. That's like the value of Zayd, is like he can't see anything else. He will kill everyone to protect her. Like that's the value that comes out, but it's messy and dirty, and it clears up later a little bit, but it's still rough.
Yeah.
And yeah, the clearing up is probably me doing mental acrobatics to make it make sense. But it's
all of us, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing it too, because I get to a point where I'm like, oh, Zayd. All right. Get in here. Protect me, watch me, love me. Initially, Zayd is leaving Adeline roses, like, and he is honestly, like, there's multiple people, multiple things haunting Adeline. He's one of them. The other one is this cold case murder with her great grandma Gigi. That's the other thing that's like haunting her. But it's like between those two things, that's what's haunting her. And it escalates when Adeline goes out to a club, like a little hussy, and brings home this dude Arch. I'm kidding. She's not a hussy. She's doing her thing. She brings home this dude Arch. I do love that she was an author and that she writes books and everything. Like I like her character quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I'm becoming my own little Zayd with my infatuation of Adeline.
Yeah, like right away, the first scenes, you kind of fall in love with her really fast. Like
You
she's
do.
just like
I don't.
kind of shy, like, but she's still public, like at book signings. Like, yeah, she's a great character.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I connected with her right away. Where I feel like there's a lot of the female main characters. It takes some time where I'm like, okay, like I see the attraction. I see
Yeah,
what it is about her. Adeline,
yeah.
I liked her right off the bat.
I agree. I agree. And I had a very like specific way she looked too, oddly. Like more than the other characters, I feel like she looked very specific to me. And I was like, I like this person and I want to know more.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. So she brings home this dude Arch, who later we find out is he's like in the mob. He is a bad dude, you know, like he's just your normal, like run of the mill piece of shit. He likes to beat his women, which how scary, by the way,
Yeah.
right? Like Zayd I think tells Adeline later after he cuts his fucking hands off and gives his hands to her. He's like, oh, you know, like he like leaves his women like, you know, bloody nose and beaten after he has sex with them. How fucking scary would
Yeah.
that be?
Yeah.
Like I could just imagine, you know, I'd bring home a big burly man from the clubs and you know you're having a good time and then suddenly he just starts beating the shit out of you and
Yeah.
like what do you fucking do?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's an interesting point too. And they like, and that almost like again mental acrobatics to justify Zayd is like I think the other paints this world of like danger. Like everything is in this whole story. Like everything's fucked. Like this guy's fucked. Her grandma, her great grandma, her mom's all fucked up. Like all of it's kind of fucked, and the whole world is dangerous to her. And so this like that Zayd comes in as like a more dangerous character that comes and saves her a little bit. Which I didn't think about that until you kind of brought up this like the danger that is like picking up someone at the club, right? Um, and
Yeah,
he's kind of a saving grace because he's the bigger danger that can be her danger,
yeah,
and that's a
he is the
wild
bigger
concept.
danger. He's scary.
Yeah,
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 he's scary. I mean, the funny thing is, the girl that I'm seeing, she every time I go and work out, she'll be like, oh, if one man can hold you down, two can rape you. And it's kind of like a funny meme that's going on right now. Or she's haunting me. And I thought about that in this book where it's like Jesus Christ, there, you know, the imbalance of the physicality. This is
yeah,
such a stupid thing, right? Like, duh, as a man, I should understand this and see this, but I rarely come across it. And I like, I'm not a huge man, but I'm not,
no,
I'm not. One man can't hold me down. All right, it's gonna take three of you to rape me. Um,
can't rate me so
but
easily.
like, but like, yeah. In this book, I thought a lot about that of like this, how scary it is, how unsettling, how much or how you don't have that power and you really are giving that up. And you know you do have these moments where someone who can be incredibly protective and this wonderful savior, white knight, whatever, or this great person in your life, or that same person can be like a devastating villain.
Totally, totally. And then, or you can have someone like Zay, which is like a gray knight, which is like take like because this is what stuck out to me a lot was like he kind of just took stuff like he took from Adeline in without like really asking, right? Like that's the dubious consent part. But he showed like great control at the same time, which is odd to say that sentence, right? But like he would come into the situation, like take something, like forcibly have a form of sex with her, but he wouldn't like do like, penis penetration because he was controlling himself, right? Like, and like, as crazy as this sounds, he was being calculated and controlled, and that's some form of like safety.
I shouldn't laugh, but no, 100%. And I actually I am glad you brought this up, because this is something that I wanted to talk about, because I think the part of what is very attractive with Zayd, in my opinion, I'm trying to see this, but is that he is actually very controlled. Every part of his life is super controlled. And like, yeah, he is a stalker. He is breaking all of Adeline's boundaries. Like, if you've read if you read Lights Out or listened to our Lights Out episode, where like Josh is like, hey, I am gonna like toe this line of being a crazy stalker, but I'm not gonna go so crazy and like set up cameras so I can see you naked and watch you bathe and masturbate. Zayd is like, oh no, I watch all those things. I am throwing a beat to all of them. I need you to know that I'm doing it too.
Just know.
He's crossing all those lines.
Yeah.
Okay, besides that, he is very controlled. He has intense self-control. And it plays out in his role as like, fighting all these organizations and people who are sex traffickers and who are abducting women and children. He shows incredible self-control to Adeline outside of the stalking part of it, where like he wants her so badly, but he won't take her unless she takes him first.
Right.
And in my opinion, I think that's part of what she finds attractive in him. And I think that's that plays out in a lot of these books, where the masculine character, part of what makes them masculine is this self-control. They have this power, the self-control over themselves in every aspect of their lives, and they have it with the female main character up into a point where then they show, because of her, they cannot continue to control themselves. Like, they do the best and they're like, I'm not gonna do anything, but I'm gonna fucking die if we can't be together. And it's like, in that moment, then the female main character is like gushing.
Yeah. Well,
and then is
you
like,
nailed it.
Do me.
Yeah, you nailed it. I think that's the whole thing. And that's what makes this so like desirable, is that like he is like so type A controlled throughout his life, and he can't not go after Adeline. He is so enthralled that he's breaking his own codes, right? And that is what everybody wants. We all just want to be so wanted that, right? Like you start to like fall apart as a person. And
Yeah.
that breaking, because like I love that you brought up the male's always in control of their life, which it 100% is. Like pen pal, he's, and it, like I love, like it's sometimes they're like uber rich and have everything they can ever want. That's one version, but I think another version is like in pen pal, he's like works the job he wants, he's making enough, he owns a house, he's doing his thing, and he's in control of his life, and he's happy, or maybe not happy, but he's like in control. Not happy until he meets her. That's always the story. But same here. Like he is on a mission. He is checking all his boxes. He's doing his life the way he wants to. But then this person crossed his path, and all of a sudden he's kind of fumbling a little bit. And that's like,
oh, big time. No, big time. Like it throws him off of his normal routines.
Yeah.
I mean, it does get to a point where they actually first hook up and have sex, which is it's more than like halfway through the book. If there's one complaint that I have, it's that it takes so long to get there. Like, I mean, not even just like a little hookup. It takes forever to get to this point where then they do have sex. It is a great scene. But like he's there meant to protect Adeline. I mean, he doesn't know if this dude Mark is gonna, him and his constituents, if they're gonna abduct other women. And Zayd is off. He's in this haunted house with Adeline, and they, have this whole scene where they hook up and have sex, and they do this whole thing, and in my mind, I'm like, dude, Zayd, aren't you supposed to be watching to make sure that Mark doesn't abduct someone? Like, yeah, it could be Adeline, but it could be someone else. We don't know. Like, you've left your post. And we get a little bit at where it's like he can't control himself. I mean, he does. He doesn't do anything unless Adeline wants it, and like that happens in that scene. Like, he gets her naked, and then she's like, well, if I'm gonna be naked, it's only fair if you get naked. And then he's like, okay, like, but do it.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't take his own clothes off. He's like, if you want it, you do it.
You got to unwrap this present. That's what I think is the most powerful part of their sex scenes is there's like a nonverbal communication that's happening, like back to that, like the vibe of the flowy vibe. It happens well with them. It's very tumultuous, and she's doubting herself the whole time, and we hear her inner monologue, but it's always like, we're at this point where it can change. What are we going to do? And he allows her to take control in that moment and be like, yeah, we'll take it one step further. And then he jumps in and does his thing. And like, it feels a little crazy, but there's these like trigger moments where it's like, we can go left or right. Where do you want to go? And she ends up choosing a direction. And that's what makes it all feel smoother and not like, oh, this is fucked.
Yeah. I mean, don't do this. Don't do what Zayd's doing. I mean, he fully is like whips it out and is like, if you wanna put it in your mouth, you can put it in your mouth. If you don't want to, I'll put it away.
I'll put it back.
But if you want it,
it's like this isn't Pandora's box. It can go back in the box.
But don't do that. That's not chill. That's fucking weird. Don't do that. And like, what part of what I enjoyed so much about the book, and you were just talking about this, is that you get Adeline's perspective, and she's like, she taught, like, you get her inner monologue, and she's like, I want this. I'm so turned on. I want this, but am I okay with the person that I'll be afterwards? Like, if I do this and I do want it, and like, if I go ahead with this, if I let this happen, if we hook up, if we have sex, if we do these things, am I like, can I live with myself? Can I live with the person that I'll become after the fact? And I'm not saying that her doing it is wrong or anything like that, but the inner turmoil, that questioning, that like, what does this mean about me? Who am I? Am I okay with this? Is that okay? Does this change who I am? Does it not change who I am? That feels good to go through that. I honestly don't, it doesn't matter to me the choice you make after that fact, but feeling that, going through that, having that turmoil, going through those things feels so good, where then after the fact I can be like, I know you made the decision you want to make, and I'm happy for you.
I'm happy. Good for you. No,
congratulations.
To follow up on that and tie it back to the ritual. Then the ritual was the first time we came across like rape fantasy, and it does a decent job of explaining why that's a desire and why like someone would seek that. I think what this does better is she has like I don't know if I'm using the right word, but like a self-respect or a view of herself that she's kind of grappling with through this like kind of rape fantasy that she's living through, where she's like, I don't know if I want to be this person on the other end of this journey, but I like it. And so like that inner monologue is great, because we get to go with her and be like, yeah, like, you are kind of weird, like, you want this, like, chill, stop, tell him to stop. And he, like, hopefully he listens. But the back and forth, we get to explore that idea deeper than in the ritual. In the ritual, they kind of were like, yeah, I like it when someone else controls me and I feel good about it. I feel free. And I was like, oh, I get that concept. But this was different. This took me through the like battle that kind of happens, in a way that I understood more clearly. And I thought that was really well written.
Yeah. She has that moment of like, who will I be? Am I okay with who I will be after the fact, or, like, tomorrow? But, and then she's also like, why am I soaking wet right now?
Why do I fucking love this?
Get in here.
Don't put Pandora back in the box. Get it.
Give that over here. I got Pandora's box over here. Put it in
I'll show
me.
you Pandora's. Oh,
Okay,
no,
so we're gonna get back. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna get back.
bring it back. Bring
Like
it back.
Zayd gets crazy when Arch goes home with Adeline. They nearly hook up. It doesn't fully happen. He pounds on the door. He's done this twice now. He did it with another dude. I love that
And
scene, by the way. This is
at this point,
early
he's
on.
kind of a ghost too. Like you don't know if he's a physical person or if she's crazy. Is a real ghost happening? Like you kind of, it's a little bit like this is like the haunting part. You're not 100%.
Yeah. 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 So the first time it happens, Adeline is with this other dude. I can't remember his name. He's not important. He's a loser. She brings him home. Not brings him home. She like has him over. She's like, he's like a hookup. And he's a piece of shit. And like someone pounds on the door and Adeline's freaked out. She's like, dude, we can't have sex anymore. And the dude's like,
Yeah,
what? Why not?
I'm already naked.
He
Yeah,
gets naked, yeah. And I love this of Adeline. She fucking sends him packing with just like one sock, like running down the street. Um,
yeah,
that stuck out in my head. I love that. And then second time she brings home this dude Arch, and Zayd pounds on the door again, kind of steps in. This time though, that guy Arch is more masculine. He's like steps out of the house to be like, "Who's there?" Or like, "What the fuck are you trying to do?"
yeah.
Zayd kidnaps him, fucking kills him, cuts his hands off, gives his hands to Adeline, and then proceeds to kill the rest of his family. It's like, fuck, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
This is like an anecdote. Like this is like a footnote to the rest of the story because we get past this so quickly.
Yeah.
Where it's like
It moves on.
yada 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 yada, kills a bunch of people for Adeline, and then we get to this. We get to the like meat and potatoes of the book, which is the Satan's party. Satan's what is that? What is it called? Satan's affair. Which
Satan's
is a party.
which
Cool.
kind of like almost two on the nose. Like I almost want a little more creativity there. Satan's affair.
Okay,
Sick.
Beelzebub's ball.
Beelzebub's ball. Alliteration. Just a little alliteration would be nice, Beelzebub's ball.
Yeah. So
Libations by Lucifer.
like it culminates in in that like party, that whole thing. I mean, so a little before that, Zayd and Adeline like spend time together. This is kind of interesting because it like after Arch, Adeline becomes aware of Zayd as an actual person and he starts showing up, and then she starts like he lets her see him as like a shadowy figure, and then like his profile, and then she actually sees him, and when she sees him she's like, oh my god, he's so beautiful. Which that was the part where I'm like, no way, come on, like fucking scary dude who just served up hands on a plate to you, like no way. And so it does build and build and build, which is good. Like that does help. I appreciate all that. But I don't think anyone could win me over through that arc of like, you're pounding on my door when I'm about to, I don't know, hook up with someone, and then you fucking kill that person and you cut their hands off.
Acted like a ghost for the first quarter of the relationship.
And you're leaving flowers in my house. I mean, yes, I love flowers. I love flowers. But you're fucking breaking into my house and leaving flowers in my house. There's no part of me that's like, that's sweet. Thank you.
I mean, it's hard for me to question my sanity, and like the thing that's causing me to question my sanity. Yeah, it is and this is where we tipped into fantasy, right? Because like, there's no way that it could. Well, I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not everybody. Don't yuck people's yum. To go from like the like stalker haunting silhouette all the way to like protective lover is a huge leap. But I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
these books have this. A lot of these books have this. I do think it's the juxtaposition of highly controlled male in these hetero cases. Let's be open to it. Highly controlled character losing control because of the desire they have for the other character, and I think that's such a core piece that it allows the person that is the object of desire to look past egregious things.
Look, I can understand and appreciate in the beginning of a relationship of being like, I'm so smitten by you. I need you all the time. We have to talk all the time. I need to call you. We need to FaceTime. We need to, like, I just need you 24/7. I do enjoy that.
That part's
You
cool.
do get to a point, that does get to a point though where you're like, all right, I also work and I have these
Life
other
goes on.
things that are going
Yeah.
on. I've got a book club here with my best
Gotta
friend.
record. Yeah.
Got to read and record.
Just
So
yeah.
it does get to a point where you're like, okay, this is a little overbearing, and Zayd continues to escalate. Like, there's no point where he's like, okay, we'll be chill. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
and the
Hey,
next
keep
thing,
writing keep
the
writing your
next thing.
book. Yeah. I think that's what's odd about well, I think that's what, again, we're in the realm of fantasy now because the characters are so, like, both of them are so singularly minded that nothing else exists. Like, he is trying to destroy this cabal of Satan worshippers. Um and that's all he can think about. He doesn't go to work. He doesn't like have a podcast that he records with his friends. Like, right, like he is doing this mission, and she is also on a very similar mission to figure out who killed her great grandma. And she's not writing. She's not talking to her mom. She's not doing all the other things she normally does because she's like hyper focused on these things. I think that's where like we're tipped into this world of fantasy where that is okay. Like, she doesn't have to go to work. She doesn't have to pay bills. Neither of them do. They're just like they become characters, um, in a way that weirdly we can't. And that's yeah. Like I've never thought about it this way.
I mean, but that's kind of how a lot of relationships, or I guess my relationships, have started. Of
Yeah,
like the
it's fair.
world is on pause as you meet this person, and it's
Yes,
like
yes.
you are so like
You're
obsessed is the wrong
eclipsing
word, but
everything.
like
Yeah,
you're enmeshed, and you're like, everything is about that person,
yeah.
um
Well,
and
totally.
this
Like
new
that feeling
world.
of being engulfed by this like presence of a person. Like, you can't see anything else, right? Like, there's 100% that like time frame where you can't see everything else, and that is what this fantasy is about, right? Like, that doesn't last forever, unfortunately, but you can prolong it in different ways. Not saying relationships are bad. What I'm saying is that's what we love about these books. That's why women and men love these books. Is like it forces us into this like world of this person blocks out the sun. We can't see anything else,
Yeah.
which is beautiful
Yeah,
and lovely.
it is beautiful because it is a fleeting moment in all of our lives, and it has to be a fleeting moment because you have to get back to the shit you have going on. um but it is like the beautiful moment that is fun to revisit in books, and like stories, and all that. And it's fun. I mean, I guess if you don't like those things, it's fun to still experience through a third party and to be like, oh.
Ooh,
So
voyeurism is a thing.
he watches you masturbate. Okay. And you like that?
Cool, cool, cool,
Good
cool,
for
cool,
you.
cool, cool.
Good for you.
Nice, nice.
Um I will say, speaking of, there's no pebbled nipples in this. There's no
Not one
fisting in
mention of a
this.
pebbled nipple or fisting. This one felt much more like a book that had smut in it than a smut book, even though it has plenty of smut to have a high spicy rating. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but like to me, it was just like there was because like the pebbling and the nipples and the fisting is when it's like that's a smut book. Um, like, yep, smut book. Um, clear signs. I see all the signs. But this one was like it almost could trick you into like, well, this is a book. Like if you deleted all the smut scenes, it's still a book.
Yeah, because
It's still a
there's
book.
there's a whole story of Gigi. There's a whole story of the secret society, and there's a whole story of like this, like Zaid's world of capturing these criminals.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm with you. It's first, like, it's not a smut book first, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close because they do
It's
some
right there. Yeah,
dirty, they do some dirty
yeah.
shit.
I wouldn't be like, oh, do you just like to read? Read this book. Like I wouldn't. No warnings, no trigger warning. Give this to someone. Um, but yeah, I think it's that deep of a story. It's that layered. Which yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
okay, you're gonna go. Sorry, go.
no. Well, okay. I'll say this one could be quick. It's one thing that made Zaid the most redeemable was when he interacted with the kids he saved. Um, every time he interacted with the kid he saved, it is so emotionally appropriate, and it is so like it's clear that he's actually passionate about it and loves like genuinely wants kids to be like safe and free in a non like I'm the hero way. Like he's genuinely caring about the child regardless of his safety, regardless of him being a hero or not. And that is so like it's cute. Like he is so cute in those moments that I'm like, I forgive you for everything you've done. Like it's good. Like the way he talks about like adopting that child at the
That's what I
end,
was gonna say.
I was like, oh my god.
That's what I was gonna say. So he saves that one girl, and he talks about like he hasn't done background research on her, and it's such a like gut wrenching scene because he saves her, and he's talking to her, and she's like, "Are my parents still alive?" And he's like, "I don't know, girl. Like, dude, I have no idea." And it's kind of funny then because then she's like, "Do you want to be my daddy?" And there's a moment there where I'm like, "Oh god, I hope this doesn't get weird." And he goes to the best place possible of like, I mean, I guess I could be your dad. Like, I could love you like that, but I have this lady. I'd have to ask her first. And you're like, yeah, that's so sweet. And then, cut to this moment where he's talking to Adeline and he's like, she asked me to be her daddy. And I told her I'd have to ask you. And Adeline's like, oh,
What the
what?
yeah. It's appropriate. That's what I love. Like she reacts appropriately. The answer is what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we're not even dating. Like
But then
but it's
also
cute.
she's like, you thought of me in that like
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
And I do think,
It's genuinely
like early
sweet.
in
It's genuinely
relationships or
sweet.
even late in relationships, I don't know, there are these moments where you catch that glimpse of the other person thinking of you in a certain way or considering you in a certain way. And that
Well, I think the more
consideration
fucked up the
feels so
situation,
good.
yeah. I think the more fucked up the situation, like it's not really a real situation, the better that feels better, right? Like you're like, wow, that's a weird time to consider me, and that like kind of melts you a little bit because it's such a weird, like odd situations where you consider your partner are sweeter, like right, like it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that made you think of me, thank you, right? Like, and I think this is that same thing. Is like, oh, you had to ask permission for me to adopt a child. That's so sweet.
And she's like, would you? And he's like, yeah, I mean, it depends on you, I
Do you
guess.
want to be her
It's
mommy?
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
mommy,
that's me. I'm a mommy.
mamacita, mama. He's so redeeming in that space when he's like interacting with kids, when he's talking about his work. It comes across as pure and appropriate,
Yeah.
which is interesting, and why he's a round character and not like completely flat, because that was Riot's problem. Like there's
He's
nothing
so
that
flat.
redeeming about him. He was just kind of like he was kind of making good choices when he was put up against the wall. Like right, like he was in a corner. And he's like, oh, I guess I can betray this ritual to be kind of good.
Brotherhood, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only time that he was more rounded was when she has that rape dream. And then she explains that her ex boyfriend had shamed her, and he's
Shame me.
like,
He's like, don't
yeah,
let
he's like,
anyone
how?
shame you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, girl, this is what it is, and you're like, whoa, what? Right?
Where'd this come
What the
from?
fuck did this come from?
Yeah. And I think that's a good like contrast between Zayd and Riot is like he has an altruistic mission in the world that is genuinely good and he's passionate about. Is he executing it in a good way? Maybe not. Like, murder's not always good, but you can see where he's coming from, and it makes him rounder.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, even if it is a mob guy cutting his hands off and killing him, very questionable.
Erasing his bloodline from
Yeah,
from the
killing the rest of his
timeline.
family.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But
But okay, so
go ahead.
when they do have sex for the first time in in Satan's lair, Satan's soiree, I actually was like, this is pretty fucking hot sex scene.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was like, I don't know how I feel about that was like they finally start to have sex and she's like, you're too big, you can't fit in here. And he's
There's
like,
no
tough.
room here.
Yeah, he's like, that sucks because I'm gonna.
Yeah.
And I was a little torn on both of them. Like, on one part, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's kind
Yeah.
of silly. On the other, I was like, okay,
Oh
get
yeah.
it, boy.
Yeah, boy. I think that's the. I agree, and because in like past books, usually the interaction is like, no, you can, like, you have the capability, like you can take it. Let me help you. Like it's like a very like soft moment where she's like, I don't know if I can, and he's like, I'll walk you through this. Don't you worry. He's like, you got it. You don't have a choice. Pow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah. He's
it's
like,
funny.
he's like, you still want
Not
it?
my
And she's
problem.
like, yeah. And he's like, all right, well, tough. Take it all.
Tough. This is what it is. And it kind of brushes past that pretty fast. After it's like, yep, she was fine.
They do brush past that. They do. I think that is one thing in this book where they get into scenes where I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? How did we get here from the past scene? I don't know where I am right now. And that happens at a few times where it's kind of like pivotal. And one of them is like that sex scene where it's like they're hooking up. And then suddenly he's like eating her out, and then suddenly he's like got her flipped around in a different angle. He's fucking her in a different angle, and it's like, how did we?
Switch?
Where are we right now?
This is a funny anecdote. I was listening to this while flying, and I thought I fell asleep. Because it switches, and I was like, I rewound. I was like rewinding. I was like, did I miss something? And no, it just switches so fast without much context. Because I legit, I was like, I must have dozed off. We're doing something different now. It's pretty funny.
I know, because there's a moment where she's like, oh, and he's hitting me at a different angle, and it feels better and deeper. And I'm like, I had that same where I'm like, I went back. I was like, how did we switch things? Aren't we in the haunted house right now? How do we switch up angles right now?
That's
and it just kind of. That's that ghost penis.
That's that ghost fucking dude. We know about that.
Yeah. It's that ecto dick.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So if there's, if I've got something negative to say, it's that occasionally I find myself in a sex scene and I don't know how I got there.
Yeah. Usually you have more of a flow to it, but this one like cut. But it does make it feel chaotic in this. Like, here's the devil's advocate. They're in a funhouse mirror building, and it does kind of play into like where they're at. Like, you don't know where the person's at. There's mirrors everywhere. Like, it's chaotic. Like, there's something there. There's something there.
Well, there's something there. They got to make a movie out of this one.
I want to see this.
Well, because I'm glad you brought the mirrors up, because there's a moment in it where it's like, they bring up the mirrors to talk about like seeing in the mirrors and everything, and I'm like, get yourself a bunch of mirrors.
I'm a fan of mirrors.
It works. It's a good one to bring in. I think there's elements to it where you're like, you see your partner, you see yourself, and you're like, get it, boy.
This works. Get it, boy. Get it, boy. Hype yourself up.
high five myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
mirrors, they're good. I do. Okay, so I want to get to this because we're at an hour now.
we're at time. We're at time.
We're at time, but okay. So the next like sex scene is more of like a montage kind of thing of like we don't get a lot of details, which is kind of a bummer for like a smutty book. But I do love the way that they talk about it or talk around it, where they're like both Zayd and Adeline are like, we're so sore and we have no bodily fluids left in us because
We've
we
been
have
drained.
been banging. And it's like he's like they will like wake up and he's got like his fingers inside of her and like they've fallen asleep just engorged and inside of each other, and like it's like they've got nothing left to give. And after I'm like, I love that. All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you almost visually see it where like it's like pow, 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 like you see the flashes of the scenes. I love that too. I love that too.
Yeah. Did you
Well said.
also picture them doing stand up 69? She holds him, or is that just me?
Oh, that was you. And I like where your head's at. Hey, that's powerful, dude.
You know, can't leave anything
One
on the
can
table.
one can dream. One can dream. Have you seen Joe Rogan's clip where he's like, I like a sturdy woman. I like a woman that can move furniture. That's what you made me think of right now. It's like stand 69. She's holding him. Like that's a sturdy woman.
It's a strong lady, you know?
Muscle mommy is a beautiful thing.
Love me a strong lady.
Absolutely.
Um, okay, so we get to that like little montage scene, and then that's kind of it. Like that's all we get. There's not actually a lot of sex in the book. So in terms of like the amount of
Yeah,
sex, it's very
you're right.
minimal.
It's low. Yeah, it's
But
low.
it does build to this. Like it has
Yeah.
this intensity that it builds.
And it's very like extreme. It feels like they're extreme sex scenes. Again, not like a multi-partner kind of thing, but a like you're paying attention and you're like, whoa, it's happening, right? But it goes back to what we were saying. Like it's a book that has smut in it because there's just a lot of world building, a lot of like other things happening
Hmm.
other than the sex. While like the best example I think is Pucking Around, where if you took the sex scenes out of the book, it wouldn't be a story. There would be nothing left. It'd be a weird hockey game that doesn't make that much sense.
One game, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and
100%.
yeah, and that's not a knock on the book. It's just a different type of.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like this. I think this is good. Again, this is. I don't know that this is a good one for your boyfriend or your partner, your husband, as a
Don't
early
start them
like.
here.
Don't start here because it is so conflicting. Of like, yo, there are no boundaries. I mean, there are boundaries here. Nothing is being respected, and what are you telling me to do here, right? Like I think romance novels, smut books can work so well in communicating to another person. um like two things. There's one where it's like you could learn from this and like expand your mind, get new points of view, walk a mile in my shoes kind of thing.
Yeah.
um and then there are ones that are like, hey, I'm into this, read this and we
Do
could do
you
this
like this too?
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like this is a terrible one for that. This is more of a like walk a mile in my shoes, but also be very empathetic and understanding and
yeah.
navigate this super morally gray world.
Yeah, I think this one's like it's more of an onion, right? Like you have to peel some layers to get to the core that is like, oh, got it. Like, yeah, this is why she likes him, and this is why this is good. It's not the first like you come in here raw and are like, oh, this is what women like. Sick. I know what to do. Like you're gonna miss. So yeah, I fully back that. It's not a first book. Don't introduce this to your boyfriend. Start elsewhere. I recommend Lights Out. That's the one for me. As a first timer, I feel like Lights Out is chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bring them here later if you must, but not right away.
Much later. Like
Yeah.
this is your 10th book in.
Yeah, because
Or
I
their
needed
10th
the
book.
ritual. I needed the ritual to understand this better. Like if I hadn't read the ritual, I would not understand this as much. I feel like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
yeah
100%. Because and I think I actually would prefer it as like the ritual first and then this, because it helps me appreciate the ritual more. But I think if I read it reverse, I would dislike ritual
yeah
more, because I'd be
because
like,
I the ritual was the cracked egg to make the omelet of Haunting Adeline.
it's that egg you drop on the floor and you're like, oh shit.
Oh.
Well, we'll start over with a new egg.
We'll figure it out. We'll start with a different. No, that's what Credence was. Credence was an egg on the floor that we just left there and started a new
to,
a hot
to
take.
us, that was like,
I do
oh.
want you to at me, chat. At me if you feel different. I want to know what you think of that book.
Speaking of Credence, we went, we had such a long break in between our last book and this book because there was, Thanksgiving and Christmas
Holidays.
and New Year's, all that, all kinds of work and stuff. Nearly took a few little cuttings of our Credence episode to like put out there, and I wasn't going to say anything to you because I wanted to
Oh, I would have
see,
loved
like,
it.
you're like,
I would have loved it.
boop, just put a tiny little tasters of those
Dare
out.
you? Because that was a sad episode. That full episode may never see the light of day, but clippings probably some good clippings.
It shall never see the light of day. That one, we lost our way.
We have been wounded, and the book didn't heal us.
No, that book.
Lights Out was the healing book. I think that's why
Yeah.
I want to recommend it to everyone for the first time. It's like it was just such a book that it brought you into the world without scaring you, and it took you really far. And I'm like, oh, incredible! Now I can read anything.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I hope there's like an arc one day where we get to communicate that to the authors.
Oh, that's a dream.
Vanessa
That's a
Allen.
dream. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
You
would
have
have
no
never read
idea
another Smut book.
the dark forest we had just come out of.
You were the North Star that pulled us out of the forest.
Yeah, that was the relationship after the abusive relationship that was like, okay, I could love again. And
Yes.
this feels
And
good.
Love we have. Love we have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this great book, highly rated. Recommend for anyone who's already in the Smut world. If you are not, tread lightly. I would read another book first. Talking to males mostly. If you're a lady,
men,
dive right in.
100%.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
Men
so we are. I think we missed the moment for this. But I had gotten a really good recommendation for another book. That was no, this was a book that was inspired by a Folgers coffee commercial.
Oh, the one with the weird one with the sister and the brother?
Yes, they wrote this book called My Present This Year. There's a dirty, smutty book because of that commercial.
No way. I've seen that as a skit, like a Vine or like some old skit where it's like, "Hey, brother." It's so weird.
This author Sierra Simone, she wrote a whole she wrote like a novella, wrote a book on it, and it is really well received. It is pretty like good and
I'm
dirty.
so down to read it.
I don't know if we would have to read it quick, but either that or I do feel like returning to a hockey novel would be timely because there is a hockey romance series. And I don't know if you've seen it on social also, but there have been lots of women going to hockey games.
Yes, with all the boy aquarium, I think they call it, or the men aquarium. Yeah. Hilarious. I'm in. Would you? Here's a question. Would you be willing to read one of the MM books?
I mean, yeah, I'm game for anything.
Hey,
I'm game for anything.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I might ask that it's not pucking around length where it's 754 pages.
I think we can. Well, I think we should do the same thing with. Let's not make a Credence mistake. Let's start with Lights Out of the MM world, right? Like, there's got to be one out there. I don't know which one it is, but there's got to be one out there. Let's find something easy to get into. Chat, what's out there? Tell us what's out there.
How do we dip our toes in, our metaphorical toes into the M for N world?
You know what'd be crazy is if we ever record one of these lives with a real chat, that'd be insane.
And so, yeah,
it's like answers right away,
as opposed to this artificial after the fact chat.
We get a chat after, yeah.
And we do. Actually, I love all the comments. I love everything. Yes. The engagement is super fun.
You guys are great commenters.
Yeah, and I felt like heavy pressure that we haven't recorded or done anything over the last 2 months because
new people are coming across our old stuff and they're like, "This is incredible. Keep going." And I'm like, "Oh shoot, we haven't done anything in a while." So yeah, keep the love coming. Like, we appreciate it, and we'll keep recording. 26th, the year of Smut.
Yeah, we're gonna get on a normal cadence.
Absolutely, maybe a live one day. I don't know. We'll see.
You paused way too long after I said normal cadence. I feel like you're not committed.
Did I? Oh, no. Not intentional. I just said normal credence.
All right. Until next time, this was our Smut Curious Book Club.
Thanks for listening. Okay, love you. Bye.